Everyone told you that being open book makes you authentic, attractive, easy to love. So you walk into rooms with your heart already unzipped, believing that honesty automatically earns protection. Picture this: you're on a first date that finally feels different. She laughs at your jokes, maintains eye contact, asks about your past. Within an hour, you've spilled everything: childhood chaos, failed businesses, the ex who cheated, the nights you thought about ending it all. She leans in, touches your arm, says, "I really appreciate your honesty." In that moment, you feel chosen. You walk home thinking, "This time, someone actually gets me." Fast forward. Her replies slow down, her warmth cools. Or worse. Months later, in the middle of an argument, she reaches straight for your throat with the one confession you wish you'd never said out loud. She doesn't have to invent an attack. You handed her the sharpest words yourself. Different scene, same pattern. You start a new job and want to bond with the team. So you joke about how much you hated your last boss, how broke you were last year, how anxious you get in meetings. They laugh, seem welcoming, tell you, "We've all been there." But behind the smiles, something else happens. They're taking quiet notes. Now they know what rattles you, what you'll tolerate, where your confidence cracks. In any hierarchy, corporate, social, romantic, people are always collecting information. Most aren't monsters, but they are self-interested. They remember what hurts you, what you crave, what you fear. And when it serves them, consciously or not, they use it to win arguments, to press you into cheap compromises, to keep you small while they move freely. The naive belief says, if they see the real me, they'll treat me better. The Machiavellian understanding says, if they see my entire map, they'll know exactly where to invade. Power respects mystery. Even Machiavelli warned that a ruler must never reveal his whole mind, because predictability invites attack. There are 7 kinds of secrets that, once exposed, quietly turn you from equal into exploitable. If you don't learn them, you will keep calling self-inflicted wounds betrayal, walking into every new room already disarmed, and never understanding why power never stays in your hands. You need armor, not performative vulnerability. Before we go any further, understand this. Protecting yourself is not the same as becoming a villain. You've been trained to believe that if you don't spill everything, you're fake. You're hiding. You're the bad guy. That story keeps you soft. There is a brutal but simple line here. Lying to people so you can use them is manipulation. Choosing what not to disclose so they can't use you is self-respect. You owe coworkers, first dates, casual friends and strangers online basic decency, honest actions, and clear agreements. You do not owe them your childhood, your traumas, your bank balance, your darkest fantasies, or a downloadable copy of your psychological blueprint. Your deepest truths are earned access, not public property. There are 2 archetypes in this game. The manipulator hides information to trap, to scam, to abuse, wearing a mask to squeeze unearned benefits from anyone naive enough to believe it. The strategist does something very different. He withholds vulnerable information from unproven people so they cannot trap, scam, or emotionally destabilize him, while still acting fairly and keeping his word. Every serious player you admire, CEOs, diplomats, high-level negotiators, lives in this gray zone of strategic opacity. If they vomited every fear, regret, and impulse onto the table, they'd be finished within weeks. Machiavelli advised princes to appear open enough to be trusted, but never so transparent that anyone could perfectly predict and contain them. That's your target. Not icy cold, not masked, but measured. If you miss this distinction, you either stay naive and bleeding, or you overcorrect into bitter manipulation. In the age of hustle quotes and vision boards, you're told to shout your dreams from the rooftops, to manifest by telling everyone where you'll be in 5 years. It feels powerful. In reality, it's like handing your plan to people who are comfortable seeing you never win. Picture a junior at work. He tells his manager and co-workers that in 3 to 5 years, he wants his own firm or an executive seat. He expects mentorship and doors opening. Instead, management quietly stops giving him sensitive access, because now he's a future competitor, not a long-term asset. Coworkers stop seeing him as just a teammate. He's the guy who might one day sit above them. Promotions and projects towards someone less gifted but more manageable. Socially, the same thing happens in softer colors. You tell friends every detail of your future lifestyle, the money, car, city, influence. A few are inspired. Others smile while something insecure inside them hopes you never get there. They make little jokes. Right, Mr. Millionaire. And when you stumble, they feel relief. Most people don't sit there plotting, how do I sabotage you? Their ego breathes easier when you stay where you are. Machiavellian rulers understood this and concealed the full extent of their designs, hinting at direction while hiding destination. You must do the same. You can say, I'm getting better at my craft. I'm building something, without laying out your exact 5-year attack plan. Let your results reveal your ambition, not your speeches. Keep the highest version of your blueprint in a tight circle, or entirely in your own head, until your position is strong enough that blocking you is harder than moving with you. The less people can map your climb, the less they can work to keep beneath a ceiling they've chosen for you, and the more attention you can turn towards something far more dangerous to expose: your emotional weak points. Everyone studies everyone. Your emotions are the easiest map to read and the fastest way to neutralize you. Emotional weak points are not abstract, they are precise buttons. Maybe it's certain words, useless, failure, just like your father, that send you straight back to being a child. Maybe it's situations being ignored, being compared to someone better, being replaced in a group you thought you belonged to. Maybe it's old wounds from abandonment, betrayal, humiliation that you've never closed. Naive openness makes you treat these pressure points like small talk. You tell a new romantic interest, if someone ignores my texts, it destroys me. Or, I go crazy if my partner follows other guys. You tell coworkers as a joke, if my work is criticized, I spiral for days. To a mature person, that might inspire protection. To the insecure, the narcissistic, or the power-hungry, it becomes a script. A controlling partner uses your fear of abandonment to keep you compliant, threatening to leave, pulling away, testing how far you'll chase. A toxic colleague pokes your known insecurity right before a presentation, so you walk on stage rattled. An online enemy repeats the one insult you admitted destroys you, dragging you into meltdowns on command. The open wound self explains how fragile he is, hoping the world will be gentle. The armored self is different. He doesn't pretend to be emotionless, but he never reveals which triggers turn him into a child. You can say, "I value respect and communication," without confessing. If you leave me on read, I'll beg. You can admit, "Criticism stings, but I'm working on it," without handing over the phrases that make you lose control. Whoever can provoke you controls you more than you control yourself. If others learn your triggers before you master them, they own every serious argument, breakup, negotiation, and your bank account is the next place they'll look for leverage. Money is not the problem, confession is. You've been told that being honest about your struggles will attract help, but when it comes to power, revealing your level of desperation is like putting a price tag on your neck. Picture a job interview. The recruiter asks about your situation, and you blurt, "Honestly, I really need this job. I'll take anything. I'm desperate." They smile kindly, but inside, they just learned everything they need to control you. You have no leverage. They can lowball your salary, stack you with extra work, move deadlines whenever they like. And you'll probably swallow it, because you already announced you have nowhere else to go. Same dynamic in relationships. You tell a partner, "Without you, I'd be financially and emotionally ruined." It sounds romantic in your head, but what it really says is, "You can treat me however you want. I won't leave." They never have to fear your exit, so your boundaries stop existing. Online, it gets even darker. You post that you're crushed by debt, hopeless, and would do anything for a chance. Scammers, fake mentors, and predatory employers read that as a beacon. You think you're asking for rescue. They see a walking resource who will overpay, overwork, and overlook red flags. The victim mindset says, "If they know how much I need this, they'll help me." The strategic mindset says, "If they know how much I need this, some will exploit me and others will quietly lose respect." You can be in a tight spot and still project standards. "I'm looking for the right fit. I take my work seriously, and I expect fairness." Your maximum pain tolerance and minimum survival threshold belong in your private planning, not in their negotiation script. Men are more inclined to oppress the ones who show they cannot resist, and those same men listen closely when you start talking about who you secretly hate. Some men think intimacy means unleashing every grudge they've ever stored the moment they feel humble. They start unloading ex-friends who betrayed them, bosses who never appreciated them, family members who are dead to them now. Names, dates, accusations, all poured out like poison disguised as bonding. The new listener nods, laughs at the stories, maybe even adds a few of their own. But internally, something colder happens. They register that you are comfortable burning bridges with your mouth. They think, if we ever fall out, he'll talk about me this way. And they quietly take note of exactly which stories, which people, which triggers light you up with instant rage. That knowledge is strategic dynamite. A manipulative person can feed you selective information designed to inflame old grudges, pushing you to say reckless things in public or at work. Others will use your resentments to triangulate you. He said this about you. She agrees with you about your boss, turning you into a blunt weapon in a quiet war that was never yours. This is loud power, ranting, venting, trying to recruit everyone to your side, mistaking drama for dominance. Silent power works differently. It remembers everything, speaks very little, and acts when it actually matters, through decisions, alliances, and distance, not gossip. You do not have to pretend the past didn't happen. You simply stop handing strangers your entire case file. With new people, we had differences in values, is enough. The deeper story belongs to your journal, your therapist, or a very small circle that has passed real tests. Even Machiavelli warned that rulers fear subjects who can turn the crowd with their tongue, and they watch those who speak too freely. When you parade your grudges, you advertise exactly how to puppet you with whispers and half-truths. And the same people listening to your hatred will be eager to exploit your hunger for love and validation next. There is a kind of weakness you never think of as weakness, because the world romanticizes it, your hunger to be chosen. You tell yourself, you're just lover, just loyal, just built for relationships. But underneath the poetry is a simple truth. If your nervous system collapses, every time attention is taken away, you are easy to own. Many men confess this without realizing what they're doing. On a third date, trying to be real, you admit, I get attached really fast, I fall hard. When I like someone, I'll do anything to keep them. I can't stand being single, it ruins me. A healthy, grounded person hears that and quietly steps back, because you sound more like a drowning man than a partner. A controlling or insecure person hears something else, a manual. They understand they can disrespect you, withdraw, go cold, flirt with others. And you'll rationalize it, because abandonment feels worse than humiliation. All they have to do to make you chase is pull their attention away. The same dynamic shows up with friends. You constantly joke about being down bad, about just needing someone, anyone, to love you, about feeling worthless when your phone is dry. People learn your self-worth, lives outside your own body. A compliment can make you loyal. A cold shoulder can bend your behavior. The knave's self confuses dumping romantic desperation with authenticity, hoping it will earn extra care. The strategic self still wants connection, but he refuses to reveal the depth of his dependency. He builds a life, a mission, a spines whether somebody texts back or not. You can say, I'm open to the right person, without confessing, I collapse when I'm alone. Whoever controls your sense of being wanted controls you. The man who cannot stand alone becomes property of whoever offers company. That same dependency appears again when you expose deepest regrets and humiliations. There is a difference between healing and handing strangers a loaded gun with your name engraved on it. Your deepest shame is not content, it is live ammunition. Past addictions, criminal records, cheating, betrayals, scandals, the worst thing you did when you were drowning and stupid. The nights you still replay because you violated your own values and you still feel dirty. The chaos you were born into, broken family dynamics, the things that would make people say, "I had no idea." There is a place for full truth, a therapist whose job is to hold it, a partner who has proven over years and pressure that they protect what you reveal. Occasionally, a mentor who has already shown they keep other people's secrets buried. But the culture trains you to bleed for strangers. Long trauma essays in DMs to people who don't know your last name. Trauma, dumping on a second date because it felt right. Posting your darkest moments publicly, hoping validation will turn shame into pride. It doesn't. What it does is frame you in people's minds as what you were, not who you are becoming. It gives them a nuclear button to press if they ever feel hurt, threatened, or bored. I'll tell them what you told me. It gives them an excuse to mistreat you now. After all you did, you should be grateful I'm even here. The naive confession says, if I tell them everything, they'll understand and love me more. The strategic confession says, I reveal my past in measured layers after I've seen how they handle small truths, conflict, and other people's reputation. You are more than your worst moment, but only if you stop tossing that moment to random people and begging them not to drop it. Men judge you by what they see, not what you meant, and they rarely forget what can be used later. Before you move again tomorrow, the last thing you must stop broadcasting is the most tactical, what you're going to do next, and when. You think announcing your plans gives them gravity. Most of the time, it just gives everyone else time. You tell coworkers, if they don't promote me by next year, I'm gone. They nod, pretend to sympathize, then quietly mark a date, stall him until month 13. When you're still there, your threat dies. You tell your partner, if you do that one more time, I'll leave. They test the line, realize you won't, and your non-negotiable becomes a punchline. You tell friends, next week, I'm finally going to confront him and expose everything. Your opponent hears through the grapevine, builds a narrative, rallies allies, and when you strike, you look like the unstable aggressor, crashing a party they already framed. Power is not just what you do. It's how predictable your moves are. If people know exactly what will make you leave, exactly when you'll act, exactly what you'll say, they can always move first or simply call your bluff. Loud men telegraph ultimatums they never enforce, confusing noise with strength. Silent strategists hold clear lines inside their own skull, but don't rattle them like sabers. When their line is crossed, they move. No warning, no lecture, just consequences. You can absolutely have standards without turning them into threats. Instead of, if you do this again, I'll go. You quietly prepare, build options, and then go when your real limit is reached. Instead of announcing your exit plan to the office, you build leverage in the dark and walk when you're ready. Machiavelli said a prince must be both fox and lion cunning in his timing, never telegraphing the exact moment his teeth will close. When your future stops being a public schedule and becomes a private weapon, people stop treating you like a predictable piece and start calculating around you now. Up until now, you've probably treated almost everyone like a therapist, soulmate, or savior. You meet someone new, and within a few conversations you dump everything, your biggest plans, your deepest pain, every grudge, every humiliation, your money panic, your loneliness, even what you're about to do next. In the moment it feels like connection, you feel seen. Later, when they pull away, gossip, or throw your own words back at you, you call it betrayal, as if they stole something, when in truth you placed the weapons neatly in their hands. That older version of you is readable, programmable, easy to move around the board. The man you're building now is different. You become a strategic vault. You still feel deeply, still love, still dream, but you hold your inner world the way a king holds state secrets. Not with paranoia, but with discipline. You let people prove themselves in small, low-stakes ways before trusting them with anything that could truly damage you. You share enough to connect, never so much that losing one person would mean losing your leverage, your dignity, or your peace. In conversation, you listen more than you speak. When the urge to overshare rises, you recognize it as an emotional impulse, not a command. People start to sense a quiet weight around you. You are no longer an open, bleeding wound. You are contained fire. For the next 7 days, pick one of the 7 secrets you know you leak the most. Each time you want to spill it to someone unproven, pause. Write it down privately or turn that energy into action. Build the skill, fix the money, heal in silence. At the end of the week, notice how much less exposed and more solid you feel. In a world where everyone is bleeding on the table for attention, the man who can bleed in private and think in silence becomes untouchable. Comment yours.